Welcome back, everybody, to the CHG podcast. My name is RJ, and today I have myself the specialist of special guests. I have myself with Melikka Games here. Melikka, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
I am so excited. I've been waiting for this for like weeks. Like I was so okay. She doesn't know this. I'm like bouncing up and down. I'm so happy right now. Okay, so she doesn't know this. So, but like okay, I like think of people who I want to do special guests with in the future. Right? I don't talk to them. They don't know secretly, but it's just all in my head. And I'm like, okay, this person is pretty cool. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. And I got to look at games, and I was like, she's the coolest.
Oh gosh.
She's the coolest. And I was like, well, sooner or later, I need to get her on my podcast. I need to talk to her. She seems like the coolest chick ever that ever lived. So I was
Well,
like, so I finally hit her up and I was like, yo, Melikka, listen, you want to do this? She was like, yeah, I want to do this. I was like, yes. Yay.
well, I'm happy to be here. I didn't know that I was that high on the list, but and I
You're
doubt
high
it,
on,
but
whether they like to admit it or not, you're high on everybody's list. Don't ever sell yourself short.
yeah, okay, if you say
um,
so. I don't know.
so But anyway, so Melikka Games is a fellow small YouTuber. She has been doing a lot of GTA stuff, like compilations, funny moments, stuff like that. But she's also done like a lot of it's less play style, but like more edited to take out any of like all the more mundane stuff that my stupid stuff likes to keep in their videos. Um, and yeah, so I'm happy to have her here. We're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk about some stuff that I think a lot of people can relate to, and it's going to be about the struggles that women go through being a YouTuber, specifically a gaming YouTuber.
Yeah.
Because whether you're big, small, or somewhere in the middle, you ladies got it rough.
It, it
Because
it can be, but yeah, we'll
oh
get into it.
you ladies, I mean, don't you dare downplay anything, because I talked to other ladies from the Discord and other things, and just and read and heard in articles, and woof, you man, it sucks to be a woman in this in this space right now. It sucks, man. Oh,
Yeah.
but anyways, we're gonna go in here. So first things first, we're gonna talk about what we're playing on our channel or off our channel, as we normally do here. And I will let Malika go first. What are you playing?
Well, honestly, on my channel, everything I record sits in a folder on my desktop, so I have to edit things, so I don't know what will be coming up next. But off my channel, I've been playing a lot of Ark, and I haven't been recording
Oh,
any of that. I started my channel when I was like consistently posting last Christmas playing Ark, so I kind of feel like it's a little offline homage to that, and I went back to that same map that we were playing at, so it's been pretty fun. But yeah. I don't know, have you ever
it,
played Ark? I don't know if you're
so okay. First of all, I don't know, but did Ark ever get? No, wait. Ark is on PlayStation. Sorry, I think Ark started as an
yeah.
Xbox game at
Did
first.
it? Huh.
I I
I have
I
no
might be
idea.
wrong.
I
I,
yeah.
I
This is the
I
kind of
always
stuff I
saw
don't know about games.
I always saw it on Xbox marketing, so I just assumed it was an Xbox thing at first. But I think it
It
did
could
come
be,
to
yeah.
PlayStation. But no, I don't know what it was. I was like, okay, cool, dinosaurs.
Okay, it's so much more than
Moving
dinosaurs.
on.
I did I did play it on PlayStation originally, but there's like this whole tethering issue, so you're kind of stuck to the host, and it's
Oh,
really really frustrating. It's fine at first, but when you want to get more adventurous, you have to like keep like rubber banding back to the host. So we kind of quit rage the game because of
interesting.
that. Um,
Oh, okay.
and so now we're playing on PC where we have like a dedicated server, and we don't have those like somebody could be like, obviously on the other side of the map, and you don't have those issues anymore. So it's a lot more fun if you're trying to like fly your dragons and other pets.
So why? What? I mean, did you try being the host during like when you played on PlayStation instead?
I could have, but then I would just be like rubber banding my friends, which they would be
Hmm,
equally as annoyed. So
I see. That's
yeah,
interesting. That's weird. I've never heard of that before. Where you have to stay
yeah,
within a distance of the
yep. I
host.
think it's just because I don't know much
That's
about
weird.
all that stuff, but I think it's just because the map is just so big and it can't just load everything all the time. I think the PlayStation can't handle that.
Ah, that might
That
be it. You're
that makes
right.
sense. Okay,
No,
that's
no,
like
actually, no. That makes a lot of sense.
my
Like, it may
easy
not be.
way of explaining things.
That may make sense if it can't. If it because it needs to load everything at one time. If you're on one part of the map, if someone's on another part of the map,
Right. And
it
then
has to
everything
have
like
pretty
in
much,
between. I don't.
it needs to have everything loaded up at one time.
Yeah.
And you're right, it may be too much for the PlayStation. So it's like to limit the game from crashing.
Yeah.
It keeps two people within an area, so it only needs to load up so much at one time.
Yeah.
That's a smart
Yep.
hypothesis.
That's and it's fine. Like I said, it's fine at first when you're like newly in the game and you're like a low level because you kind of stick together anyways. But once you get higher levels or you get pets or you get more adventurous, you're like, I want to just go do my thing and not be stuck. I think it was like 200 meters or something within the other player.
200 meters. That's
So
not that far.
it seems far, but it's not that far.
But then, okay, that game came out what, 2015,
I have
2016?
no idea.
It's kind of old. It's kind of old at
It
this
is.
point.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, because like I still agree with that hypothesis, but I'm wondering why, right? The game doesn't look that visually impressive unless they've
Yeah.
they've improved it lately. But what I've seen has been like, all right, whatever. It's not meant for that. It's meant to be more exploration stuff, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
But
survival.
I was playing Rise of the Tomb Raider
Okay. Yeah.
last year or earlier this year. It doesn't matter. But there's a mode in it that they added afterward called an endurance mode, and it basically just plops you into like a giant frozen forest wasteland, and you need to survive. Well, you can challenge yourself by surviving just as long as you can, because like you do have like a cold meter and a food meter,
Oh, it's
and
cool.
you need to find those things to
Nice.
survive.
Yeah.
And so you can play with a friend, you can play with another person, and you can go wherever you want, which sometimes is good and sometimes is not,
Yeah.
because because like your friend I think can help you, like can give you stuff, or like can help you survive if you're in a really bad bind,
Right.
or
Yeah.
because like sometimes you will find enemies, if you get downed they can, I think, bring you back, I
Right.
think. But like if you're, or they can just be like, all right, I'm gonna go away over there. You'll see their gamer tag somewhere else, but
It's
it does
just
not mean they're
so far.
close. It doesn't mean they're close. It just means that that's the direction that they're at. And so, and there's when I played it a couple times with an online person, there was no limit. I was never tethered to anybody.
Oh, okay.
Like Ark had it,
Yeah.
so it made it because the developers wanted to take an easy way out with kind of rendering all the assets.
Yeah.
It's just a bummer when you see that, and you see other games who do something similar, and it's like there's no tethering here.
Yeah. I didn't
Why?
know that.
Why'd you guys?
That's
Come on,
unfair.
developers!
Yeah.
Come on, guys!
Because PlayStation 4 gaming, PC gaming, it's a separate price tag. That's all
Yeah,
I
I mean,
say.
and while I do expect some things to be different on PC, just
Yeah.
because of the nature of it, I do, when I like, when if I were playing Ark and I have that issue, then I play Rise of Survivor also on the PlayStation, and I don't get that issue. I'm like, all right, you all took some shortcuts here,
Yeah.
you
Like, what's
sons of
going on?
bitches.
But I think you can get dedicated servers for the PlayStation as well. Like that was an option, but at the time we didn't bother. And then now that we're getting back into it, we're like, all right, let's do this right. So
Understood.
yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear, on a side note, I'm glad to hear that you're also playing games off the channel, because I've heard too many times that there are too many creators, especially small creators, where the only time they play games is for the channel,
Right.
and that leads
Yeah.
to them feeling burnt out,
Yeah.
or just
I
like,
do have some games like that. Like I won't play GTA unless I record it because you never know when something
Mhm.
funny is gonna happen. And there's a lot of gameplay I record that like I never use. So that's one of those games I'll always record because like you just never know.
Yeah, no, and
but
that makes
but I
sense.
think it like depends on the game itself. Yeah.
There are some games that I was like, I would save to play for the channel
Yeah. Right.
first, and then if I beat it, I might play it on my own afterwards. um but it's just some people just, they don't play any game like
That's
that.
crazy.
Game time is when they record, and it's like, well, when are you going to play game time for you?
Yeah.
Like, what about you?
Right. Just
Like
relaxing.
you should always have a time for you to play some games if that's what you like to do, to relax, because I
Exactly.
mean, it's
Yeah.
cathartic. It's cathartic as far as it can. Like, my guilty pleasure is like playing like racing games, because they're so chill. They're so chill. Like, I'll play
Yeah.
WRC or F1 or any racing game, and I literally can just shut that off and just like play like a video on YouTube or something on my side, and just zen. I'm just zenned out. I'm
Yeah.
zen
Yeah.
gaming. I'm zen gaming.
I actually have never played, well, other than like Mario Kart, but I don't think that counts for people who are actually racing game fans. But I've never played a racing game, like
Well,
ever.
yeah, I do have to
And
agree.
I
People,
want
yeah,
to, but
yeah, Mario Kart is
I
it's
don't think it counts.
great. It's amazing. No one would argue
Yeah.
that it's not good,
Right.
but it's like
It's not the
it's
same, like, yeah.
yeah. If anyone says I'm a racing car fan, they don't necessarily. The first game they say probably won't be Mario Kart.
Right. Yeah.
They might include it, but it won't be the only one or the first one. They'll probably say like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, Need for Speed, Grid, Dirt, F1 or like some like a motocross game," and then they'll throw a Mario Kart.
Like, I guess it counts, but
It's kind
yeah.
of like when people say like, "Oh yeah, I play games," and you're like, "Oh, what do you play?" Like, "Oh, I play Candy Crush." I'm like, "Get out of my damn face!
I know.
Get out of my
Or
face!"
they just like they say like any mobile game, and
Yeah,
we're
or
like,
like, "Well, I play Fortnite and Call of Duty." I was like, "Okay, so the two biggest games on the planet.
yeah.
Anything else you want to mention?"
Well,
um,
everyone has to start somewhere.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I'm playing I was playing WRC, which stands for World Rally Car. I'm not sure
Okay.
if you knew. It's a rally car game.
Nice.
Hate to spoil it, but yeah, it's a rally car game. I am playing the fourth one on the PS3 because I still own one of those. And
And you're still playing it?
oh hell yeah, I'm still playing it.
I still have one, but I haven't turned it on.
I don't want to hear. Don't you chastise me. I don't want to hear it. um, I still have it as my pride and joy, my baby. Yeah, I'm playing WCRF 4 because I'm trying to get to where we're at now, and
uh,
we're at 10, so I
so
got a way to
so
go.
when you get to 10, then we'll be on like the PS6.
You know what? You know what? Lucifer, get her. That's her dog, by the way.
He's like
Get
going in
her.
background.
Sicker. Sick. I know you can't hear me, but come on. Yeah, so hopefully I can get there. I can get through it in a somewhat speedy time. Um, and I'm also playing this puzzle game called Relicta that I mentioned on the last podcast, and it
Right, but
is
you're not a puzzle fan. I was just
I'm
watching
not.
that and you said you don't
I'm
like
not.
puzzle games. I was like, wait,
Okay,
what?
hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. So what happened was what happened was I'm like scrolling through the PlayStation store, just looking for games,
Yeah.
and I was just kind of seeing what's catching my eye. Cause I'm trying to expand my horizons of games, playing more indie games, trying to just get a better feel for what's out there more so. And so I'm going through, and amongst one of them was a game called Relicta, and I'm like, all right, what's this about? And
Yeah.
the PlayStation Store does not do a good job explaining to you exactly what you're getting into
Yeah,
with a
that's
game.
true actually.
So I blame the PlayStation Store. So it told me like the story, like the sci-fi thing going on. I was like, all right, cool. And it has like some chick, like the I wouldn't say box art, but what the digital form of box art would be, like
Yeah.
some chick like in like a space suit, like staring out like the sci-fi world. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, cool. It might be like a first-person shooter sci-fi game or something, right? So I'm like, I'll give it a shot. And I think it was like kind of on the pricier side for an indie title too. So I'm like, all right, I would hope it's good if they're going to charge this much.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the trophies because that's always like a deal cincher or breaker for me. And then it was like they aren't bad, they aren't easy to get. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I bought it, download it. I'm starting to play the game. I'm like, all right, it's first person. It is kind of sci-fi ish. But then I was like going through some of the stuff. I was like, oh man, this is a puzzle game. God damn it.
Puzzles are fun. I love puzzles.
Well, you know what? Let me hand you the sticks and you can do some of these puzzles because they are ridiculous. I was able to get through like, oh god, like the first hour and a half of the game. The game's like, if you're rushing through it, it can take you like 3 hours to
Yeah.
be, like what you're doing. And so I was getting through it and I managed to get like an hour and a half. And then at some point I was like, my brain's going to break. I can't do this. And
It's
like,
like
and
an
also like,
overload of puzzles.
it's so many puzzles. Like at first I thought it was gonna be like for every section you do 3 puzzles and then move on. But no, sometimes you'll have like 5, sometimes you'll have 8, sometimes you'll have a million, and you're just like I want the level to end. I just want the level to end. And when you think you went through such a hard ass puzzle, and it's like cool, you got through it. Here's another one. You're like,
Oh
why
man.
can't it end? And it would help if there was like, see, it's kind of bare bones, right? Because like, see, while playing the game, my mind kept going to Portal, not because I played it, but because of I could tell it was drawing inspirations from it.
Right.
But with Portal, part of the reason why Portal is so renowned is not just because like if you just had the two guys doing puzzles, it'd be kind of boring and mundane. But you have GLaDOS chastising you 24/7,
Yeah.
and she also serves as your narrator.
Sorry,
narrator for
one second. My husband's home, so I'm slow.
Yeah, like so GLaDOS serves as your narrator for the game.
Right.
She provides she moves the plot along, but she also keeps the game always kind of engaging, fun, beyond just the portal mechanics of the puzzle. So like it keeps things from being a little too boring or mundane, right? With this game,
but Portal's not boring.
It's not. I'm not saying it would be.
That. She adds something.
I'm trying, but like, there's like they put things into the game to keep it to where it would pop. It might be for some people. It may like, if they get stuck in a spot, or like it's taking a little while. Like I could see them being like, this game blows, right? But like GLaDOS helps keep things funny and engaging and entertaining, right?
Okay.
But with this game, there's none of you get that. When you finish a whole puzzle sequence, you go to the next one, you'll get like a little bit of narration from the character and like a couple other characters, right?
Right.
But between that, nothing, and it's just silence. Beyond just beyond just the natural ambience of your surroundings.
So they just leave you with your thoughts.
And that's the thing, like, and that's what makes it so boring. It's just in between you trying to do these puzzles. When you're trying to do these puzzles, there's just nothing. But like maybe if you're in a area that has like some rivers, you might hear the rivers moving. But like if you're in the snowy parts of everything, nothing. It's silence, just silence, and you're just like, this sounds like death. Like this is terrible. And so it's really hard to push myself through the game for a long period of time because of how boring it is.
Yeah.
And also the puzzles are just.
I understand what you're saying.
Also, the puzzles are just too much. I just can't handle the puzzles. They're too much. I've been using a guide with no shame, to get through some of these. And I do some of these puzzles with a guide. I'm like, how could I have figured this out? Like, I am not. Big brain is not me. I'll tell you that right now. Big brain, not this guy. Yeah. But I'm getting through it. I finished the game. I'm doing the DLCs
because you finished the game.
With the guide.
No.
I finished it. It was the most boring thing I've ever done in my life, but I finished it. And the game added 2 DLCs. I'm doing those, but I have to go back into the main game and beat it again because they added 2 different endings to the game.
Oh,
because
really?
I guess they had the extra budget to throw in 2 endings into the game. But you can't just go. There's no chapter select. You can't, like in any regular game, you can't just go chapter select as like one of the previous puzzle pieces you did and then go from there and then do the different ending. Like, no, you got to do the whole game again. And I have to beat it within 6 hours. So
that's like
pray for me. Yeah, the trophies. That's the pray for me. All right. So doing that WRC at the moment, that's what I'm actively playing. I have other games in the pipeline. I'm going to be playing F1. I'm going to be playing this other racing game on the PS4, and yeah. Oh, Crash Bandicoot 4. Always dying. Always struggling. Always just a little bit of my sanity. Bit by bit. Just
you keep going though.
I keep going. I actually I have 7 relics to go now. I only have 2 more dimensions, 7 levels. Oh man, it's like starting to get like, my gosh, like I'm so close. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself when I'm done with this. Like it's one of those moments where you struggled so long that when you're done with the struggle, it's almost like you still want it. Like a piece of it is just gone now of your life. It's this must be how abused husbands feel. Like this must be how it feels. Like when they get out, they're like, but something feels weird. Something feels off. Like I didn't get my 9 o'clock beating yet today. This is weird.
Well, that just escalated.
Sorry, that got kind of morbid. Sorry, guys. That's what Crash has done to me. Anyways,
but
okay,
well, a dark place.
Very dark place. When I play Crash, my lights are all off. So we're gonna get going, guys. With we move on to next part of the show or the podcast. So to keep up with the theme of kind of highlighting some of the injustices that women face in the gaming industry, and I thought of a really fun question to ask Melikka. So I don't know if you've had one. I just thought maybe you have. Um, if you do though, what was like the worst or crappiest girl game that you ever played growing up? I don't know if you have one, but maybe you
Girl
do.
game,
And
like the worst girl game.
like you know, I use girl in parentheses because you know, growing up, you know, games that were catered to girls were of a certain ilk.
I don't like. I didn't play a whole lot of games growing up because, long story short, and I did mention this story once on my YouTube videos, but basically, when my brother and I played games, when he died or when I died, it was his turn, and when he died, it was
Hmm.
my turn. So he played for
Yeah.
hours, and I played for 2 minutes.
Oh.
So I didn't get a lot of like experience. That was like the rules. So I didn't get a lot of experience like gaming. As much as I probably should have, considering we had all the games. But um, I don't I don't think I have one that I don't like. I got I think it was called, no, Harvest Moon. That's what it was
Harvest
called.
Moon. That's a
I played
classic.
Harvest
Yeah.
Moon, and I just remember being made fun of a lot, so that kind of made me not like it, even though like I really enjoyed it. So like maybe that kind of counts. But my brother made fun of me a lot that I would play that because you would spend just so much time like planting stuff and like fishing and whatever, and he's just like,
Hmm.
"Why do you waste your time? Like I could be playing like some Mario game on the GameCube right now, and you're just playing this stupid Harvest Moon."
So I'm assuming you guys had to share a console.
Yes.
You guys shared the
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, you're just bringing it back. Oh my
And I
god, you're
had
just
to
bringing
buy
it
my own
back.
memory card too, just for that game, because he wouldn't let me share any
Damn,
memory
son. Your brother's
space.
mean.
Yeah, and I had to buy my own controller because I wasn't allowed to
I
use his
thought I was
controller.
mean. Jeez.
Yeah, but I was the younger sister, so I was just like, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
okay. Well, I had okay. So I'm the oldest myself, and I have a younger brother and sister,
right.
and but I have a mom who was not going to let me get away with some of that stuff. So, because like we had a PS2,
Mhm.
and I had to share it with my brother and sister, and my sister and my brother really liked The Sims.
Oh
The
yes.
Sims 2, because that was the one back on the PS2. We're going way back, guys.
Yeah.
Sims back in 2001.
Right.
Some of you guys weren't even born yet. Fuck, we're
Yeah.
old. Anyways, um, yeah. So they're playing Sims 2, and and like I was the gamer of the family, right? So like anytime they took that PlayStation from me was just like, I'm just all
You're just
mad.
throwing a
I'm
fit.
just like sitting in the back, just. And I've seen them play The Sims, and I had the same thought your brother did with Harvest Moon. I'm just like,
Like, why are you wasting
it's
time?
just a like I didn't. I mean,
Oh
obviously we
my
didn't know. I
gosh.
didn't know the word life simulator, but
Right.
like obviously I was just like, you guys are just playing house. Like, what is that?
Like on
What?
a game, yeah.
What? Like, I could be playing Ratchet and Clank right now. Something fantastical and amazing and awesome. You guys are literally playing yourselves. Like,
Yeah.
what is this? What do you guys? I'm sitting in the
But it
back,
was
just
so
I'm
fun.
just watching them, just losing my mind in anger, and I'm just like, what? But I can't be like. I couldn't like take the controller from them and be like just shut off the system and be like just get
Yeah. Yeah, too
because
bad.
they would tell my mom and then my mom will come back to me. And she was like, and she doesn't understand games, but she does understand the idea of sharing. And if like my sibling want to play something, they're like, RJ, you have to let them play. Like, and I was afraid of getting in trouble, so I would even bother rocking that boat. But
Yeah.
gosh dang, that is
Yeah.
brutal though. I didn't make them get another memory card. Gosh dang. So was it just your brother that made fun of you from Harvest Moon, or was like friends or classmates or
Yeah.
something? Okay.
No, I don't really remember anybody like at school who played games. I had one friend who had a PC and she had Sims, but everybody thought that was like the coolest thing because like she had a PC that could run Sims, and like
Just
nobody else had that.
just having
Like,
just the fact of having a PC that could
yeah,
run it, just to be able to run it.
exactly. Because like, yeah, PCs to like that could run that game. Like, I don't know what you
Mm-hmm.
needed at that time, but most
Mm-hmm.
parents were like, no, we're not buying that.
How much
Like,
RAM? How much RAM? 32 megabytes?
You
What?
could just
What?
you could just go online and find a game. You don't need that Sims game.
Yeah, what?
So
How
so she
much?
was like considered, cool in the sense that she had that
Dang,
game
she
and
was the queen
other
of the
people.
queen of the lunchroom.
Yeah.
Oh
And if you
man.
went there for like a sleepover and stuff, she would play it while you're there and everybody would like be in awe watching the game.
Oh
But
man, back in you kids don't even know with your
yeah.
Fortnites in your ultra PC settings. You don't even know what we went through.
Right?
You don't
Yeah, or
even
even just
know.
like the free games that people can play
Oh
nowadays. Like
yeah,
our free
like
games were just like some game on a website.
my free game was Solitaire and ZX3
Yeah.
Pinball that was built into the computer.
Right?
Those were my free games.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah, it
Oh my
was
gosh. And you would think that we're old as crap. No, we're still in our 20s. This is how fast
It's
technology
true.
has moved.
Yeah, it is
Um,
crazy how much
gosh dang.
everything's changed.
It's funny though, because Harvest Moon, I mean, was it that's is it that one or that one? Because my brother and sister also played that. They
You still got mad.
loved the crap. No, okay, that one wasn't on PS2. They played that when
No,
they had a
yeah.
GameCube. So
Right,
they
yes.
were away from me, and they got to do their own thing, and I had my PlayStation. But
Yeah.
they played it. I remember watching and playing. I was like, oh, I was like confused. I was also confused. I was like, are you guys just farming? What is happening here? But I
What are you
found out,
doing?
is that the one that actually has a storyline?
I don't remember. It
Because
was
there's
just
Harvest Moon
yeah, it was
and
such a long time ago.
there's another similar game to Harvest Moon around that
Yeah.
time. And oh, it's Animal Crossing. That's what it
Yeah,
was, Animal
yeah.
Crossing. It was Animal Crossing.
That would
One
make
of
sense,
those
yeah.
actually have some kind of like crazy story with like a fairy or something or some witches
Yeah.
and some other craziness. And I was like,
I don't think I got enough game time to like play a story, even if there
mm,
was an option, because
oh,
my
little
brother would
Malika didn't get
always
to
be
play
like,
that much.
yeah.
Oh, I feel so
But
sad for little Malika
yeah.
now. Oh.
But even at that age though, when I was playing like GameCube and stuff, like I remember not telling people that I knew in my life that I played GameCube or even played games with my brother because it was like it wasn't something to be proud of, I guess. Like
Oh
nowadays,
gosh,
being a
don't
girl
even.
gamer or female gamer is something that people are, don't want to hide. But being young, it's like, oh, what'd you do this weekend? Like nothing.
Oh, yeah, you have to
Right?
solution say nothing. Like you
Yeah.
just hang out. Oh gosh, you're.
Or like if I heard other people talking about games, like especially the boys, like I just wouldn't say anything. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
You know what? We can touch
Yeah.
now that we can touch on a little bit later because
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's interesting to know. But I could tell you. I mean, unless you were talking to your good buddies, you still
Yeah.
didn't like you didn't tell your classroom as a whole that you played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for the entire weekend. You didn't say that. Doesn't matter. So I can
Yeah,
tell you,
that's true.
guy or girl, you didn't say that. You did
That's
not
true.
go out saying like, "Oh yeah, I was playing my PlayStation all weekend." Or like
Yeah.
if you had an Xbox, you didn't say like I played Halo all weekend. Which sucks
Right.
because if you did say that, you probably get some positive looks from the rest of your class because everyone else was probably playing it, but like
Yeah.
it was so oh man, it was so
Yeah. By the time
gosh,
like
back
the
in the
age of
day.
like Halo and like PlayStation 3 and stuff, like I was more in high school. So I
Hmm.
had more guy friends that I was close to and then play with them. So I didn't have that
Yeah,
shame as much.
yeah.
But to any like female friends I had, I wouldn't like say, "Oh, I'm playing with so and so, tonight on PlayStation." I just
Hmm.
wouldn't.
They'd be like, "What?
I just wouldn't talk about it.
What's a PlayStation? I don't even know
Yeah.
what that is."
It's like you
Um,
forgot.
but yeah, so okay, so I guess the question kind of gets derailed, but um, I say that because like some women who grew up playing games, their parents who don't know better, they
Right.
kind of just give them the game that they think is supposed to be for girls, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's totally patronizing, but they don't realize it, right? Because
Yeah.
they don't know. But like I remember but my younger sister kind of fell into that. She's not a gamer. Let's just make that very clear. She's not a gamer. Like, but she she had two older brothers that play games. She
Mhm.
wants to hang out with her older brothers sometimes, do what they're doing. So she was like, I want to play games every once in a while. And I remember we actually had this PlayStation 1 Barbie game.
Oh.
And I watched it because like CJ my younger sister wanted to play games and I was already playing the game and I didn't want to leave my room. So she just came in. I was like, all right, let's boot up the game.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly, might I add. And we're playing the game, or she's playing the game. I'm not getting 10 feet near that game, but like I'm watching it and I'm literally like, I'm like, CJ, are you having fun with this? Like,
Is this
I mean,
enjoyable for you?
like, is this actually good? Because I feel like this actually makes you dumb. Like,
Yeah.
because those games, it seems like you didn't really play many of those, but
No,
have you seen them before? Like, have you ever seen footage, gameplay of before?
no,
So
honestly,
okay,
no.
let me educate
Yeah,
you because you dodged a bullet.
yeah.
Let me educate you and holla to all you ladies who know what I'm talking about. Can I get a relation? um, but so those games, like I said, it's totally patronizing to women, right? And
Yeah.
they assume it goes off the stereotype that girls don't know how to play games, like that they barely even know how to hold a controller,
Oh my
right?
gosh, yeah.
And so they everything is contrived to its least common denominator. Like, so the plots are bare bones, if any. If you get a plot, you that's lucky.
Right.
And the gameplay, it a lot of times just consists of a lot of mini games, right?
Okay.
But bad mini games. These aren't
Yeah.
Mario Party mini games that are actually good and well thought out and
Right.
constructed. And no,
Yeah.
none of that. Um, excuse me. And like if it's Barbie, obviously, like, and it's like Barbie already didn't really have a purpose as like a figure, as like a thing to begin with, right? There's no
Right.
backstory to Barbie. There's no nothing to Barbie. It's just Barbie. Like, she's supposed to be apparently some kind of like the best thing ever for a woman because she can do anything and everything, right?
Yeah.
But like, so they try to translate that to games, but like it's like totally stupid and doesn't make any sense. And it's just like they just prop her down and then like she just does these things and it's like there's no rhyme or reason for why she does anything.
Yeah.
Um, she just does it. And there's other ones too, like Bratz have some games too,
Oh,
and those are
really?
just, oh, I'm not kidding, I've seen them.
Oh my
She didn't
gosh.
play those. My sister didn't play those, but I've seen them. And
Jeez.
hot damn, those are hot garbage. And so, and like the same thing, like it just, I mean, it's they're basing it off the lore that was created with the actual figures from the beginning, right? So they're
Right.
going off of that, which then you could say like that was from the beginning was already bad at the begin with, but like it's just like the like they just don't do anything like that, and there's just like there's no substance to any part of the game.
Right.
It's just a game, right?
That's
It's
so
just like
silly.
it's kind of the gaming equivalent to when parents just give their kid their phone to placate them.
Yeah.
It's like something like that.
That's
It's
a whole
just
other
to
problem, but yeah.
I know, but it's like they just made a game just to be like, oh, girls say they want games. All right, cool. Here you
Just to
go.
keep them
Like it's
busy.
just here you go. Like be happy, yay.
Yeah.
Like it's mainly just like that. And
Yeah.
so I've seen it in my gosh, like I don't remember what Barbie game that was. My sister played,
But
but hot.
you will not
I watched
forget.
too much of it. I watched too much of it, and it burned a hole in my
Yeah.
brain.
I never
And
had that
I oh
experience because every like games that we would buy, I think my brother had more say in what it was, or if we got something for Christmas or whatever, he would have more say in what the game was. So
your
yeah.
your parents, where were they?
I
They just
my
let you get abused
my
by the video
parents thought
games.
that like gaming was a waste of time, like in general, like they still do to
Oh,
some extent.
just in general.
Yeah,
Okay.
they thought that was like a waste of time. So they would more so like the same way that you would limit your kids of watching TV and movies, right? They would just limit the amount of time we're allowed to play games and stuff like that. Because I remember there was one time my brother wouldn't stop. It was like the original Nintendo Game Boy that he got from my uncle, like handy
Oh
down,
man.
and
Oh
he just wouldn't stop playing it. That he got blisters on his fingers. That I actually
whoa.
remember seeing this Game Boy in our trash can because my dad smashed it. Because he was like, you can't listen to stop. This is what will happen. So we did follow the rules of the sense, okay, these are the times we're allowed to play games. And outside those hours, our consoles might be smashed. Because, yeah, he was just so
Oh
addicted to
my
games.
gosh.
But I think he
Oh my
kind of like
gosh.
used, like he's addicted to it. He loved playing games maybe more than I did, especially at that time. So he would try to like manipulate ways that he could like play longer and during those like times we're actually allowed to game. So or
I'm
ways to
starting to
get games that like he wanted and stuff like that.
Oh
But
my god. I'm starting to think
yeah.
I chose the wrong topic for today. I feel like we should have just talked
These are
about
just siblings and
growing up playing games,
yeah.
because you were literally
Yeah.
I are you sure you weren't I wasn't actually in your family because we didn't know
Right.
about it?
He's actually your long
Because
lost twin. And
yeah, I feel like you guys are my siblings and I didn't even know.
yeah. You don't realize
Like,
how much you affected them, RJ.
like no,
But we didn't
because
have a
that's
lot
the
of consoles either. Like we just had the original Nintendo. and then the GameCube, and then I think my brother had the PlayStation 2 for a while. I don't remember it much because I think that's when he was in high school. And then I remember the PlayStation 3 in our house. And that was when he kind of left to go to college and stuff. And that's when I could play because he was gone to college. So I played his PlayStation 3 with my friends.
Awesome. I was gonna say, did he leave the PlayStation behind?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
And that's like really where my like addiction and like appreciation for real games, I would say, like,
Real
more, like,
games.
yeah, like more like it was still Call of Duty, but at that time that was like more real than playing Sims or Harvest Moon or Duck Hunt.
Hey, well, like you said, you gotta start somewhere, right? And
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
hey, it is
With
what
the
it is.
limited hours I had to game.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you're like a time capsule to my life, like my
Yeah.
past, honestly, because I grew up. We didn't have a lot of systems at one time, but we did have a lot of systems growing. Like at one point, I remember having an N64, a Sega Genesis, and a
Yeah.
PlayStation 1, but at different times. And I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't have no idea why. So I had all of those growing at one point or a
Right.
time. But for some
Yeah.
reason, I stuck with PlayStation for one reason or another. And
Mhm.
then we got the PS2 a year after it came out. And I remember when we got that, I lost it. Like, it was funny because like my mom presented it to my brother and myself, like Christmas one year or the
Yeah.
year afterwards, and then she opened the box and we saw it, right? And I think it might have been a used one, but I was like 11, I don't care. And
Yeah,
so
exactly. That
I
didn't
was just
matter.
like, I just wanted the PS2, right? And then
Yeah.
I saw that, and like, I think I remember my head thinking like, my brother's not touching this. This is mine. this is
I don't
mine.
have siblings. Like,
Yeah, this
who are
is
those
mine. This
people?
is mine forever. So we had
Yeah.
that, like we had that, just that, and then my brother eventually got a GameCube. No, yeah, GameCube on his own,
Right.
and then I bought myself a PS3, and then he eventually got a Wii, some like a year or two after that came out,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
when that was like the hottest thing. You kids don't have
Yeah.
no idea how
Oh, that was
crazy the
impossible
Wii
to
was.
get.
You guys think the PS5 is hard? You have
Yeah.
no
I remember
idea.
sidetrack here, but I remember my cousin got the Wii, and then we had it at my aunt's house for Christmas that year, and like everybody played it. Like my
Oh
dad
yeah.
played it. Like
Oh
who
yeah.
you heard the
Oh yeah.
previous story, but like
Oh
he
yeah.
even played it because everybody was like, "What is this thing? Like this is,"
Mm-hmm.
and it was so hard to get, right? So everybody was
Oh
shocked
yeah.
that he was even able to get it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Because my brother, he became a kind of our Nintendo guy for the family, and I became the
okay,
PlayStation dude. I don't. It just happened. I didn't make him. It just happened, right?
yeah,
And so he wanted the Wii, and it was I think the same year it was out.
yeah,
I don't know if it released during Christmas, but it released the same year though that it released. My stepdad, he wasn't my stepdad yet, but my stepdad to be,
yeah.
he was scouring the whole state trying to find a Wii,
Oh my
and then he
gosh,
finally found one and was able to get it for Christmas.
that's
And
crazy.
dang, it was crazy. But yeah, you kids have no idea. The Wii,
Yeah.
trying to get a Wii,
We
what?
would just like order it from Amazon and have it at the doorstep the next day.
Yeah, there was no Amazon yet either. The
Yeah.
internet was barely even working yet
Yeah.
in 2007 or whenever.
Yeah.
All right, so you couldn't just be like, "Oh, let me just pop my phone over and just buy a Wii." No,
Exactly.
none of that.
No.
You got to go to your Toys R Us.
Yeah, or your Best
when
Buy.
that was still around, or
Oh,
Best Buy,
we
and
still
hope.
have them in Canada,
Oh,
Toys R Us.
oh, okay, well, we
Yeah,
don't.
I
So,
know.
like, you got to go to Toys R Us and pray that they still have it.
Yes.
But so he had that, and I had my thing, and then when we got older, he got an Xbox, and I had a PS3 still, and
Oh,
then,
interesting.
but he
So
also
you and your
had the
brother
Wii.
like had the competing consoles.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Well, for his, because all his buddies played on Xbox. That's the only reason why.
Oh,
All
I
his buddies
see.
played on it, and
Yeah.
he, he didn't want to not be with his buddies. I
Yeah.
don't care about friends, so I didn't give a shit.
I was like
So,
the same. I had lots of friends in high school who had the Xbox, but I thought it was a waste of money because you had to get the gold. I think it
yeah,
was called the gold at that time as well. And
yeah,
at that time, PlayStation didn't charge you to play with friends
nope.
online. So I'm like, why would anybody buy Xbox?
Oh, just the fact that everybody has one.
Right, and they did. Well, like, because Halo was exclusive and Gears of War was exclusive to Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
so that was kind of how they made kids get their parents to buy the
And not
gold
only
every
that, but
month.
like because they paid for it, the online was actually a lot better. It like worked a lot better because they
Oh,
had
did
money
it?
funding. Because
I didn't know
they
this.
put that money towards it. So
Right. Right.
they had the funds to push towards it and like let it
Yeah.
be a lot better than PlayStation. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any problems with it, but apparently Xbox is just so much more smoother
Yeah.
and robust. And,
Maybe that's what they told people because they were like trying to justify why they were spending that money every month. Like, oh, it's
yeah,
better, I swear.
yeah, I don't know, but
It works
yeah,
faster.
but yeah. So then we had that. So we didn't have a lot of consoles either, but what we did have was those time frames of when we could play.
Yeah.
And for us, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, well, as much as you want, whatever, no big
Okay.
deal.
Yeah.
But Monday through Thursday, if I even see you looking at your console,
You're even thinking about it.
we're about to have a problem.
Yeah.
So growing up, no games during the week, and I feel like I'm in solitary confinement. I'm just losing my mind because I needed to stay home and watch my siblings after school
Right.
and stuff. So and part of that was I kind of stayed home like in the apartment because if I was gone and they're gone, who's watching who, right? It's like who knows who's at, right?
Yeah.
So being at home, I got nothing. Like I got like homework only goes on forever, and so
Yeah.
it's just I'm dying inside. And like when we had conferences or days off or whatever, like the next day was gonna be like a day off. I would call and be like, "Mom, so there's gonna be a day off tomorrow. Can I play PlayStation?" And she was like, meanwhile, my heart's like out of my chest,
Yeah.
like hoping she says yeah. She's like, I guess so, and I'm like, oh, click through that phone. So let's do this. So I feel like you and I lived a very similar childhood.
Yeah.
But this is where things are gonna get different now, our adulthoods, because we have you being a girl gamer and me being a not that made things a lot different. So we're gonna move on to the main topic here. So we're gonna talk about, like I said before, just some of the struggles that like being a woman in not just in the YouTube space, just being a woman who plays games, right? Because there's a lot of issues that come from just if you play games but you have a vagina, there is just problems that come, right? And
That
I've
can
heard
be,
it.
yeah.
I've heard it from many women. It can range from either as soon as a female voice hits that chat room in an online lobby, all hell breaks loose.
Oh, I have
So
actually a funny story about that.
I cannot wait. So like there's that, or
Yup.
you have like if you're like yourself, if you're a YouTuber
Yep.
and you could people like to say like, oh, if you're pretty and YouTuber, like honestly, you don't even have to be like an IG model. You don't have like as long as you aren't a paper bag, honestly. Like and or if you don't show your face, if you just have like a nice voice,
Yeah.
just a pleasant voice, that's all it takes sometimes for the simp train to come a rolling and just choo choo like and here they come, right? By the thought, like people love to say that like when men get rich or whatever, the woman just comes swooning over, right? And maybe there's some truth to that, maybe there's not. But no one wants to talk about how if you're just trying to be a genuine girl gamer, the tidal waves of
Yeah, you
simps
open some sort of gates.
the floodgates are open and it is
Yeah.
just a matter of time, right? And like I've spoken to some ladies on our discords and otherwise who they're not even like we're not talking about like huge Twitch streamers that have like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers. These people who have like a few hundred, and
Yeah.
they're still already they're dealing with crap.
Yeah.
Already, right? And that's something that myself and a lot of fellas will never ever have to deal with, right?
Right.
And so I wanted to hear your experiences, your struggles, or I wouldn't say struggles so far. You seem to be doing just fine, but just like just the BS, some of the stuff that you've had to go through that's what made you like face palm or just be like, oh my gosh, wish I didn't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what you've gone through and kind of get this out here for people to hear about.
So actually, it was back. I think it was Oddly, I always start projects around Christmas time. I don't know why I feel inspired.
You're
But
the
it was like
happiest. You're the happiest during Christmas.
apparently. It was like Christmas of 2017. My brother was like, "You should start streaming on Twitch." And I'm like, "What is Twitch?" Like he's like, "You just stream your games. You do it directly from your PlayStation, and people just watch." And I'm like, what? This doesn't seem real. He's like, let's try it. So then we started streaming, and I got into streaming on Twitch maybe for about a month and a half around that time. And during that time, like, there were good things and there were bad things. Like, the good things being I met like two of my best friends who I game with all the time, Chris and Wasty, who are consistently on my channel. I
Ah,
met
yes, I know
during
those
that
names.
time.
I know
Yeah.
those names. Yes.
So that's how I met them, was through Twitch. But also during that time, I learned very quickly why being a girl gamer wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I
Okay,
just found. Go ahead.
I want to hear. I want to hear. What did you think it was going to be? I'd like to know what
I
your
just
thought
thought
was on that.
I just thought, being naive and Canadian, I guess.
I'm not even Canadian.
I assume
What?
everybody's nice, right? I assume everybody's just supportive and nice, and
Oh, because of
that
your environment.
aspect,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
that aspect of it. And then, but I knew what it was like to game online. Like, I had already those experiences. I played COD, and it's gonna pause because my dog wants to come inside. So yeah, I already had experiences gaming online with COD, and when I played on public matches, I would always connect to the mic. I was never scared of that or anything like that. So I saw how people can be talking online to random guys on the mic.
Oh yeah.
And just to that story really quick, I remember there was one time that, the COD environment, if somebody sucks, you tell them they suck, right? So during the game, I told somebody, like, hey, you suck. Why did you do that? And he's like, well, you know what? You sound like a girl. And I'm like, I am a girl. And then everything changed.
Oh
like,
yeah.
This whole attitude and everything towards me. I'm like, this is stupid. If you want to tell me I suck, you could tell me I suck. It doesn't matter if I'm a girl.
What happened? What did he was he trying to be nicer to you? Was he like choosing his words?
He was just being nice.
Yeah, so he was like,
he was like, I'm sorry.
oh.
Yeah, I can't remember the specifics. I just remember him like trying to use that as an insult against me. I'm like, well, I am a girl. But yeah, so I already had that experience of like how people are in the gaming universe. So I wasn't like not aware of that. But going into Twitch, I still thought like people who come to watch your channel would be supportive, because why would they click your stream as opposed to somebody else's? And I found that it's not that they weren't supportive. I just found, even like before I even hit affiliate, so I like didn't have 50 followers at this point, I found people would pop in just to get a reaction out of me. And they would say, I don't remember specifics, like clearly blocked the specifics, but they would say something in the chat just to get me to react. I don't know if they would just get like, it would be sometimes mean, it would sometimes be like they're trying to compliment me, but went a little too far. And it was just mostly, it felt like they're just trying to like get this reaction because I'm live streaming. And it's not, like I have to read it, and then, yeah. So that made things incredibly awkward. Or even just the constant, like, I'm trying to play a game. I played like a lot of Fortnite at that time too on Twitch, because that's also when it first came out. So that's honestly what I was playing. And then I was also playing CSGO on Twitch
CSGO.
As well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I first got my computer. So my husband was trying to teach me how to play with keyboard and mouse, and he said that was a good place to start. But even with those two games, I would get a lot of people who came in the chat, like, just, can I play with you? Can I join your game? Can I play with you? What lobby are you in? Can I play with you? I'm like, can I just stream? Like, can I just play a game? Like, you've been here for like 1 second. Like, it was just so awkward too in that sense. I feel like everybody gets that though. Like, doesn't matter if you're male or female, but I think possibly more often females get those guys that come in chat that just want to play. And if you say no, then they just leave and they move on to the next female that they could possibly game with. But yeah, that would be incredibly awkward. And I'm like super, super introverted. So any like situation that's even like a little bit awkward, I'm like, this has made me the most uncomfortable I've ever felt in my entire life, even though it's not a big deal.
Oh, geez, the body shut down. I can't do this.
Yeah,
exactly. Shut down.
Like, I was just like end stream. Yeah. Like, I have to go recharge.
Like I'll be back. like little like overlay
Yeah.
that people do, like I'll be back, awkward
I
situation
didn't even
alert.
have those at that
Just
time.
okay, so just end stream.
I didn't even get that far. I didn't even get to the overlays or anything. I think I made one emote and then that was it.
Oh jeez, oh gosh, end stream.
But
You're like, where'd you go,
yeah.
Melikka? I don't know. I just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, basically. But there's
Wow.
just too many of those situations that happened that I just stopped streaming. I was like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And I just never streamed again. Like to
I
this
was
day, I've
curious
never
why
streamed.
you hadn't streamed, at least on
Yeah.
YouTube. I was curious. I was wondering, like,
Yeah.
I feel
Never
like
streamed,
you
never
would
I'm not
stream.
I maybe one day, because I've talked to other females who've been through, situations, and then they're telling me like it helps to have mods, it helps to, just ban people, get rid of them, and like you don't have to worry about it as much. But at this time, it was mostly just me and then my
Mm-hmm.
brother who was modding, but he didn't know what he was doing
Honestly,
with the chat,
he
right?
probably would have laughed at half the stuff they were saying to you.
Yeah. Yeah, like he didn't.
He probably would have
He,
been egging them on, like, "Hey guys, she like Harvest Moon?
yeah. Right.
What a
But
loser, right?"
but I felt like I had to almost mod and everything on my own. And then even at that time as well, I was just streaming directly from the PlayStation. So I
Mhm.
like just had my phone, I would look at the chat, and then I had a laptop, I would look at the chat, but I didn't really know like what to do if someone's being rude or mean.
Yeah.
That like most of the time I was just like, well, I'm done streaming today. And just end the stream instead.
Just end stream.
But yeah, like since talking to other people, like I'm like, okay, maybe there are ways to work around that or deal with that and stuff like that. But at that time I was like, no. And then my brother kept telling me, well, make YouTube videos, make YouTube videos. Like even he kept saying like, do reviews on games that you play. And I'm like, I don't know anything about games. Like who wants to hear my review? Like I have no idea. So eventually, like that last Christmas of 2020 was when I started to kind of really get into YouTube. I tried to do a couple posts prior to that, but it's hard to be consistent. It's hard to post video. I don't know how you do. Like, you do 5 videos a week or something? It's
Something
crazy.
like that. Well, part of it,
Yeah,
I don't edit nowhere near as much as you.
but it's
That
still
helps.
it's
And
still a
also
lot of
I record in bulk.
right.
Every
Yes,
time
yes,
I record, I would do it in bulk. And
yeah. That
so
does make a difference.
we'll record for like 3 hours,
Yeah,
and then I have 8-10 videos at the end of it. So
yeah,
it's just a matter of editing all of that. But since they're all generally about the same game, and we do minimal editing, it makes it easier to kind of just like, I mean, it does take time. Like I gotta like dedicate like an entire afternoon or day to do it all. But
it's
um,
still.
but if I had to add the stuff that you add to yours, it would take me much longer to do.
Yeah,
I don't first
I
of all,
even
I don't know how, but
fine with editing as well, like even just the creative process. Like I'll have a clip that like, okay, I want to do something with this, like there's a joke here, but I want to edit it in such a way or do something with it to make it better, and then I'll just sit on that idea for like 3 days. I'll just think about that clip and be like, what can I do to make it better? And there's been times I just deleted the clip. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Like this isn't worth it. Or there's other times after like 3 days I'll be like laying in bed, I'm like, oh, I figured it out.
there you go.
So it's like a huge creative process as well, which I find like is hard to keep up with. But I try to be more consistent when I started the channel, and then now it's progressively the creative process is getting me.
I
But
mean,
it happens.
it's a slow process. I mean, it's a tough process. I
Yeah.
mean, every small YouTuber knows how it is, and everyone who was big at one point was small. So I mean, they know about
That's
it
true.
too, you
Yeah,
know.
that's
And
true.
so, I mean, I might figure this. I might understand what you're talking about soon, because I'm thinking about possibly doing a Crash Bandicoot 4 review,
Oh, nice.
but
Yeah.
on getting the platinum trophy, like that journey, and
Okay, yeah.
because I've said many times that game has pissed me off so much, and so I might do like some kind of like it's more of a rant review
Yeah,
rather than
that's
anything.
fine. Yeah.
And there's another game I'm considering reviewing. It's called, remember the game called Agony by any chance?
No, no idea.
It was, well, I mean, you're better for it, but it was a first person game set in hell,
Hmm.
but like I forget the like premise of it, but like it was meant to like, jeez, I don't know what's the whole thing, but like it caused a lot of controversy for a little while, because it was relying more on shock value of like just this very graphic. I don't mean graphic as in bloody, but just graphic imagery being in hell and all
Right.
that stuff that comes with it.
Yeah.
I bought it, and I'm gonna play it because I want to see for myself how much of a shock value it is, right? Because the game also isn't just it just isn't good either. If you even remove all that, it's not a good game. But I'm
Right.
curious because this is a side thing. It doesn't really matter. But so people may not think this, but I do consider myself a religious person, and I'm a Christian, and you wouldn't think that with this poop mouth, but um, but like I do, or I am, but that I want to see if that game is as trigger making as it's
I
trying to
see.
be, right? I
Yeah.
want to give a review from a Christian person's perspective, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
not going
Yeah.
to bug me, trust me. It's not it's
Yeah.
not going to trigger me. I mean, you guys have seen the crap.
But
You
still.
guys have seen the crap on my channel. It's not going to trigger me. I can promise you that. But I just want to but like I want to give it I want to try to be creative with the reviews that I'm trying to do,
Yeah.
right? And so that's going to make
Yeah.
me have to do some of the stuff, go through the same processes that you do. And man,
I feel
it's
like
going to be
you'll have a
rough.
lot more to add to the review process because you know a lot of like sorry, the review dialogue, I guess. Because you know a lot of like other games too to compare it to. You know more about like the history of games, like just from listening to like what you say, especially on the podcast. I feel like you have a lot more to add to any review. Well, I'm like, oh, it was good because the guns went pew pew. Right? Like I don't know much to say.
You know what? I'm
But
taking that.
yeah.
I'm taking that. I'm going to use that.
Give it ratings out of
At the very end, I'll be like, you know what? The game didn't go pew pew, so the game sucks.
Exactly. Those guns suck. But
but yeah, so I'm gonna
yeah.
go through it eventually. But anyways, let's kind of bring
Yeah.
this back here. As so you have I mean so you're still within the realm of like being a small YouTuber and everything,
Oh
and you
yeah.
just started
Yeah.
putting up
I
YouTube
think we're like considering macro or micro. What's smaller? Macro?
micro
Okay, we're micro, yeah.
micro. Come on, you did a business major, macroeconomics. Come on,
Oh yeah, I guess.
come on now. Come,
It's been a while.
Hayek and Keynes would be ashamed of you. Sorry, that's a business joke, everybody. Um,
Yeah.
anyways, so you know the realm of being a small YouTuber and all that stuff, and you only started putting videos up. You said within like last year, like consistently
Yeah.
on the channel. Have you already come across like just some unsavory comments or unsavory just interactions with people?
Yes.
Okay, you see, and
It's
that proves the point I'm trying to make
yeah.
with you people. Okay,
Yeah.
she just started not even a
Yeah.
year ago, and you're at like 300. How many again? 300 something subscribers.
300 something, yeah.
She's
I think
we'll say
30.
300 something, right? She doesn't even
Yeah.
know. It's fine. But like, obviously, though, it's not like
Numbers are just numbers.
it's not hundred thousands, not millions, not
No.
nothing, right?
Yeah.
And she's already had to deal with unsavory comments
Yeah.
from people, like just people coming on a little too strong or whatever have you. And that's the
Yeah.
same point, because like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, guys will never ever have to do with that. At least not now. Like I
Yeah.
haven't, and I talked to many other guys. Maybe you've gotten crap from other people, other fellas, but you're probably more likely not gonna have some guy being like, oh my gosh, you look so beautiful today in your video. We're not getting that. I mean, I always look beautiful
No.
24/7, but I'm not getting that in my videos though. I wish I would, but I'm not
Yeah.
getting that, so like it just
Yeah.
what if, like, if you don't mind sharing, like what have you already had to have gone through and dealt with?
Um well, I don't know. Like it hasn't really been like that bad. I can deal with it. I mean, with anything that you do online, if you're posting things publicly, you have to kind of expect, especially as a female, that you're going to get comments
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to get private messages if you're on Instagram or whatever. It's going to come. You kind of have to expect that. Like, I kind of compare it like as a female going to a bar. You expect that there's going to be some guy who's going to make you feel uncomfortable, whatever they say, because you're in this like situation where they feel like they can approach you. They're not going to do that to you at the grocery store, but they're going to do that to you at the bar, right?
That's a
Yeah.
good one. That is
Yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking now.
how.
I gotta jot down some notes.
And as a male, if you go to, just a straight bar, you're not going to have other males approach you and
Yeah,
make you
you're going there to hang
uncomfortable. And
out.
I
Yeah.
and I doubt like any females would do that to you either,
Mm-hmm.
because usually, in the dynamic of how society is now, we
Mm-hmm.
expect the male to approach the female anyways.
Not me.
So,
They come to me.
yeah,
I got
just
time for
stand
that.
there. They just. But typically, that's kind of like how it is online as well. It's like almost like men just think they're in this environment where they're allowed to, I guess, approach you and say whatever they want, or
Mhm.
be rude, your gameplay, and like always very transparent, especially in the games. I call them the games I've never played before.
Yeah, that series.
Series I do, yeah. So I'm really like that's literally the first time I played the game. Like I open up the game, I record it, and I have to sometimes move where my camera is because it's covering, the map or my health bar or something, because that's like how little I know about the game before I go into it. So I'm completely blind. I know nothing about it, and I always find that like in those situations, I do get comments about you suck, basically, along those lines. Or I did even get a comment as well. I posted a video, a GTA video, and one of my all-time favorite YouTubers is Smitty. I don't know if you watched his video.
Smitty. I think
He's
I know
like,
that name. I think I've
yeah,
heard you say that name before.
he's like my all-time favorite. So I did a GTA video where I go to a strip club, and it was like my first reaction to a lap dance. And I'm like, how do I make this safe for
Oh,
YouTube?
I remember that. I remember that video. Yes, I remember
And
that.
I put like Smitty's face and his logo like to cover everything I need to cover to kind of, give it that comedic aspect and kind of say my, homage to Smitty, because he's literally my favorite. And like, if you watch his videos and you watch my editing style, maybe you can pick up on some like where I get some ideas from. I'm like, no shame, I do copy some of his like style because I love it. I appreciate it. It's like, being a director for a movie, and you do little things in your movie of your favorite director that you used to watch movies of, right? But anyways, make it like a grand scheme. But I remember like getting a comment on like that video of like some guy was like, oh, you do know that he has a girlfriend. I'm like, I can't, if I was a male posting that as a joke, like to cover up, the tatas and whatever, you wouldn't say that. You would say, oh, Schmitty has a girlfriend. I'm like, I'm not posting this to like, oh, can you date me? Like, I'm good. Regardless of my, relationship status, I'm good. But I just feel like maybe men just feel like they can just say whatever they want or to make you, and it's not as bad on YouTube because like it's just a comment. It's nothing live. Like I don't feel like as awkward reading it like if it was live streaming and someone says something like to make me uncomfortable, but it's just a comment. And at the end of the day, like if you have haters or if you have people who are saying negative things on your video, it is a good thing because they're commenting on your video.
Yeah, that's what they say.
The only thing YouTube sees that as engagement, and that's it. So, like just side note, don't let it get to you. Leave the comment, embrace it, like it even.
Like it. Yeah. Yes, heart it.
If it's funny, like it.
Confuse the crap out of them.
Yeah. But pin it. No, I was kidding. Don't pin it.
Pin it. What? Wrong social media.
You can pin the comments.
Oh wait, you can't pin the comments. Sorry, I'm so inept to see. I'm thinking of Pinterest. Sorry.
I do that to your comments sometimes too. Like if someone says something really funny, yeah, I'll pin your comment to the top. Don't even notice. I don't know if it gives you the notification, but yeah, I'll do that.
Does not. Because if it did, I probably would have said something by now to you if it did.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. People are just, it's like the bar scenario. People are just dinguses because they can be.
That's such a crazy good analogy.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way, right?
Yeah. And I don't like to give them like all the attention because I find, big YouTubers, small YouTubers, anywhere in between, a lot of the time people make videos and talk about like the negative comments and talk about, response into like what people are saying negatively about them or their life or their channel or whatever. But I kind of, I don't know, I think we should put more value on like acknowledging the positive comments we get and responding to those and like talking about those rather than like the negative ones. Because I feel people who are taking the time to be negative and saying something negative on your channel, like they just want a reaction from you. They just want to grind your gears on purpose, or they say something shocking, they just want you to react. That's like all they want.
Well, it seems to be that they want that reaction more out of women though, from men, right?
Yeah,
because like you don't
true.
see these random just shock, like comments when a guy is streaming,
Yeah,
and because also it's like, okay, I mean, imagine if like if, I mean, I guess maybe if you're because I'm part black. I don't know if you guys could notice, but I'm black a little bit. So I guess like if you're like a black streamer, maybe you have some bigot come in and just says like, "Hey,
Yeah.
N word," and I guess it's that. But like I
Yeah.
don't think that would be as common as like as some dude showing up and saying I don't know what they would say to some woman or whatever.
Yeah, like
It's not as common. And then if you're a white guy, you get nothing, right? So, um,
yeah.
I mean, like it's just interesting. This seems to be that I was talking to SN Sacris,
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Psycho Nation.
Yeah, yeah.
Gosh, I hope it's Sacris. I don't. Gosh, I know he told me when we recorded or
Yeah,
we
he
did the
did,
podcast,
but
but
he said it right the
gosh,
second time, I remember, but I don't know
gosh,
what
I
it
don't
is.
remember the Sacris. I want to say Sacris. Don't kill me, please. But after we were done, we talked for like an hour after we were done, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
part of what we talked about was just this. Actually, it was interesting
Yeah.
how this came out. He was talking because he felt the same thing like I did. Like it's a shame because like um, because there's so many just women who like like yourself who like to just who just want to share
Yeah.
their gameplay stuff, whether Twitch, YouTube, whatever have you,
Mhm.
and and a lot of them happen to just be attractive. It's not like they asked for it, like
Right, yeah.
they just are, right?
Yeah.
And you have those, and it's like, oh, so they'll put on makeup. It's like, well, what did they do? Like, what? Why do they have to not put on makeup, right? And
Yeah.
so like they're just attractive women who like to play games, right?
Well, yeah.
And you
Well,
have
with
those, but
makeup too, it's like as a female, and this is something you'll never have to think about, but as a
uh,
female, I always
is
have to
you,
think about what shirt am I going to wear? Like, does this
yeah,
look okay to record in?
yeah,
And
I
as
was
a
just gonna
male,
get
you
into
can
that.
just wear whatever shirt you want to, right?
Sometimes you can wear no
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah. There you go. But I don't
I
want
was
to
just
like give off that, by wearing
yeah,
a
and
certain type of
I
shirt.
was just gonna say that
Yeah.
too. Like, you know, I've read I don't know how long ago, but I read this article about this Twitch streamer. I don't remember her name, and she wasn't even like huge. She had like 40, 50,000,
Hmm.
which that's like medium set, which
Yeah.
is still good, but like
Yeah.
I mean, we would kill for that. But like
Yeah.
obviously not like in the
But
grand scheme of
still,
things, she's
yeah.
nowhere near the top. And she was talking about how like she said, I think she said she was a heavy chested woman,
Hmm.
and so she every time would have to worry about the top she wore, right?
Yeah.
And she kept getting banned or getting strikes or whatever,
Oh,
right?
really? On
And
like,
so
was it Twitch
on
or?
Twitch, on Twitch, on Twitch.
Wow.
And so every time that happened, she was like, okay, she's like, either I can fight this protest or I could try to roll with it. So she tried to roll with it.
Right.
So she was like, all right, so I try to put on even a baggier sweatshirt, something that just really wouldn't
Yeah.
highlight them in any way. And I'm trying to like be closer to the camera, right? So it's not giving my whole body away or whatever. And
Yeah.
she still was getting banned, right?
That's
And so
crazy.
you have it's such a multifaceted problem that women
Yeah.
deal with, because you have your situation where they just come in just to say something to just get a reaction, right? But then you have some guys who show up and they're just mad, I guess, at women, right?
Jeez.
They're
Yeah.
just mad at woman gamers.
Yeah.
Just they see a woman gamer who's attractive, has like a lot more subs than like a lot of fellas who don't,
Hmm.
and they're like, this is an injustice against men, and like let's ban her or try
Yeah.
to get her strike
That's
down,
like
right?
another thing too, is just like being part of like, the creator community, I guess. And being told by people like, oh, you only get the views because you're a girl. You only have the
Yeah,
subscribers because you're a girl. And I'm like, I think I do more than just, exist, but thanks. Right? Like, but you do get that negativity even within that community as well. And that, or even from people who are like, I would consider friends, and they'll say something like that, like, oh, that's just because you're a girl. It's like, no, I don't think it's just, but all right. But like it
yeah. I mean,
sucks, like
it's
just
just
to, almost be judged that
it's a
way too,
two-pronged
based
sword,
on.
right? Because like you'll get you get that, and then it can't be denied though that sometimes a woman would probably get extra subs. I mean, like they didn't ask for it, but like you're gonna
Hmm.
have like these fellas that they just see you, right? Not your
Yeah.
gameplay, not what you bring. They just see you,
Yeah.
and they're like, "I like you, so I'm gonna sub to you, right? Because I
Yeah.
like girls, and I like you."
But
You have that could
but
possibly
men
happen.
dominate the gaming like
I was
community though. Like,
I
yeah.
was thinking that too.
Like they
When I was talking
dominate. Like
when I was talking with Sacris, I was saying like
yeah.
it's so crazy how this all shit happens. But like you look at the top YouTubers and Twitch
Yeah.
streamers, and they're still men, white men mostly.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
I'm pretty sure when like that
Like, what the
Twitch
heck?
leak happened,
Hmm.
there was some statistic that said like that leak of all the highest
I
income,
saw
like a
that. Yeah.
woman didn't show up until like I forget which number, but it was a while
Yeah,
in the
and it's like, so
list down the
it's like,
list before it was like a
so
female
like, what are
streamer
you
that
guys
was
like
on
trying to
that list.
sabotage for? It's not like
Yeah.
they're killing it like in the top ranks. Like, they're
Yeah.
not, like,
Yeah.
as far as like at least earning income
Yeah.
is concerned. And
Yeah.
so,
Depending on how, yeah,
yeah, like,
exactly
and
how you
you
want
have
to
part of the
rank them,
yeah,
but
part of these fellows that, I mean, yeah, there's no doubt they're probably gonna be incels. I mean, it's just gonna go with it, who are just mad at the world
yeah.
because they feel life dealt them a bad hand, and instead of trying to fix themselves, they would just rather ban women who are trying to stream, right? And then to a
Yeah.
smaller extent, you do have some of the women that I do feel do kind of ruin it for the, the genuine ladies who are trying to just game. Like, I mean, I do feel like there are some who are just definitely taking advantage of the situation. In
Yeah.
my opinion, I mean it.
And that's where like the term girl gamer kind of
Yeah,
changed of the
like, they
meaning
kind of ruined it
because
for
of
you guys, because like, I'll talk to
yeah.
people, and they're like, who don't know games, and they're like, oh, like, is that the girl gamer? I was like, let me tell you something about girl gamers.
Yeah.
About real
And there's
girl
yeah,
gamers, all right.
exactly.
I've seen
And
them.
there are real girl gamers who
I
don't want to be called girl
Oh
gamers
no, right?
because of that,
I just
right?
play games. I don't need to be called a girl gamer. I
Yeah.
I worked at GameStop for 5 years or so.
Oh,
I seen
really?
them.
Yeah.
I know the real lady gamers. All right, and they are just as awkward and just socially inept as the rest of us. All right, those are the real ones.
Yeah.
Or at least, at the
Yeah.
very least, the way I'm usually able to figure it out is just how much they know about certain games, or just how, like, or the type of games that they play. Usually,
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't expect a girl gamer to play Ark Survival. I wouldn't expect that, right? Usually
I
because
love that game.
usually because they
It's so
don't
fun.
because they're just taking advantage of the situation. They're going to play what's hot
Yeah.
because that's what obviously is going to work the best, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to play Ark Survival. They're not going to play Harvest Moon
Mhm.
on the Nintendo GameCube. They're not, they're not playing.
Because they weren't gaming
They
then.
weren't
That's
even
what they
gaming then, right? And yeah,
yeah.
you can get into gaming at any age and time, but
Yeah.
like,
They're playing Animal Crossing now, probably, but
come on, like, there's a clear difference, right? And it just depends. And also, like, even if they do play one game, if they are really into that game, like, they know the ins and outs, that could do it for me too. Like, yeah, they only play COD,
yeah.
but if they know strats, they got that guns down. They know what the ranks actually are. Like, they're not like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
promoted, okay, yay, like, no, they're like, I'm trying to get the fucking level 100. People, you don't understand. Like, this is a big deal. Like, I'm trying to get second prestige. Like, oh, you know what
Yeah.
prestige is?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
like, you
Prestigious.
know what that
Yeah.
is. Like, all right, so it's
Yeah.
just also understanding the knowledge, and like, not everyone's gonna know that
Yeah.
eventually. And you might come
Hmm.
across a woman who's just getting into things, right? and
Exactly.
and it's a tough call to make, but sometimes you can definitely know who's here because they know what they're doing. And
Yeah.
I feel you have these fellas, these guys who are just mad, who only see them, and then they paint that broad stroke amongst all of you, and then you kind
Yeah.
of, all of you
That's
guys catch the brunt of it, right? And
yeah.
it's really, it's obviously not fair. um
Yeah.
but it is something that I don't think is talked about enough,
Yeah.
out there. Whether you're big, small, somewhere in the middle, Twitch stream or Twitch, YouTube, even in your personal life, like you said earlier, like, you couldn't talk to your own female friends when you were younger about games,
Hmm.
right? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, fellas had it hard to talk about like games amongst their, like, outside of their friend group. I couldn't imagine you couldn't even talk about it amongst your friend group, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, even now too, like I found like a lot of my close female friends, they didn't really realize the extent of gaming. Because when I did Twitch, I didn't really tell anybody in my personal life. But when I started doing YouTube, I was like, you know what? Like I'm fine with it now. It's been a couple of years, so I started telling more of my female friends or even
Hmm.
family, that I'm doing that. And then even that, like they're like, wait, you game? Like you have a PC? Like what do you mean? Like because they just visualize like PC gaming of that guy on South Park.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Sorry, he found a
yeah.
squeaky toy.
Oh gosh, the South Park dude, World of Warcraft.
But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's how they visualize. If you PC game, that's who
Hmm.
you are, right? So they don't. And I feel like nowadays too, they see girl gamers as more so that you have a Nintendo Switch. And yeah, I have a Nintendo Switch. Have I ever used it? No. I think I played like one game with my husband and my brother one year, but like I don't like the Switch. I prefer PC or
Hmm.
PlayStation. Like those are my go-to, but that's not like normal for a girl gamer. Like I should be playing Sims, or I should be playing Animal Crossing, or
yeah, or if
all
you,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's kind of funny. Like there's like two archetypes for girl gamer, and it's either
Yeah.
you're the pretty one on YouTube or whatever, or Twitch, who's playing COD or
Yeah.
Fortnite or whatever is big, right?
Yeah.
And has like, you know, the low cut top and the push up bra. So
Yep.
you're either that, or you're the
Yeah.
one, like it kind of goes back to what I said about the earlier question about like playing girl games, right? The Animal
Yeah.
Crossings or the Marios, you know, or just the things that are real like
Yeah.
not threatening and like super easy
Super
super cute,
cute.
super easy to digest
Yeah.
and all
I
that.
think my Ark dinosaurs are
And
cute.
teach their own. But you know, like you have that, and like, and it's not to say that you can't play those games, but it's just obviously people archetype you in a certain way in relation with those games, and it sucks
Yeah.
because if you're someone who
Yeah.
does like to play that, you get lumped into it. But then when you bust out
Yeah.
like, yo, who wants to play, like
Like
who wants to play
GTA. Like people are just shocked that I
GTA?
play
Could be another
GTA
one,
because
yeah.
that's like
Yeah, the GTA, like, or you
yeah.
bust out like some vintage. Who wants to play F10? Like what? F10?
I don't even know what that is.
See what I mean? Like that would just blow people's mind if you said F10. You were like, you know that game
That's a racing
from
game,
way
right?
back in the day. Captain
Okay,
Falcon.
yeah. I don't know racing
I
games
didn't
at
even
all.
play it, but I knew it was like a Nintendo thing only, and I never had a GameCube, but or any of those. But yeah,
Oh,
it was like one of
right.
those. Like, or someone was like, let's play some Star Fox. You're like, yo, what Star Fox? You know, it's a struggle. It's a struggle that women go through with games that men never will have
Yeah.
to go through. Because like I could play any game I want, and I don't get a label thrown on me.
Yeah.
It does not matter
Yeah.
what game I play.
Well, it's even like when I play online gaming, like in general, like my Steam picture, my PlayStation picture, nothing like my name is still Malika on there, but there's no picture that confirms I'm a female. Because I never wanted to, and this was very early on, I never wanted to like have a picture of myself or anything that would
Mm-hmm.
represent that I'm for sure a female, which is again something that men don't have to
Never,
think
not
of.
even
And I feel like a lot
not
of
even.
men too will put a female picture on their profile because maybe they really like this, I don't know, Final Fantasy character, and they use that character as their picture or whatever, right? And they don't think twice about that. But like as a female, I'm purposely making sure like my PlayStation picture is like a little turtle. Like there's no indication that am I a boy or a girl? Like just purposely because I just don't want to like attract the attention, especially like if I'm playing an online game. I just prefer
Hey, you want to
not
know
to.
really bad?
Yeah.
Going on to that, like, you know how bad, like how ready guys are to like just message a possible woman.
Yeah.
If a
Or like
guy
the
has an
yeah.
icon on their profile, a
Oh really?
woman, like some kind of female character from a game or whatever,
They'll get messages.
or their
That's
title
funny.
somehow maybe might, you
Yeah.
know, assume that.
Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah, they might get hit up still. They might get hit up.
That's funny. So
they
I'm doing
they
something
might get
right
hit
to
up.
avoid
So like
that. But
sometimes guys will accidentally get hit up because they have like the wrong
yeah.
icon or the wrong something on themselves,
Yeah.
or
See?
that's
Imagine if you're
how quick
actually
it
the
is.
female.
That's how much we're ready. Like us men are just ready to come at you guys. Like
To
we're just
pounce.
ready to bounce. Like it's not even a
Yeah.
joke. But like yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, for women, like I knew so many. I should say so many. It's not like I know a lot of people, but like I've heard so many instances of like women who actively, you know, who actively have to do everything they can to make sure that they're not giving it away that they're a woman playing online.
Yeah.
Because like you said,
Mm-hmm.
like with that one guy in Call of Duty, everything will change as
Yeah.
soon as a woman enters the chat. Um,
Yeah. They'll either be really nice to you or they'll be really mean to
or
you.
they'll be really quiet. That's
Yeah.
another one
That too. Yeah.
because like again, like you said, like with the bar area, like guys, a lot of guys go to the bars because they feel that's the only place they can escape, right? Gotta
Right.
go away
Yeah.
from that nagging wife of mine. You know, so they go to the bar with their buddies, right? They feel like, oh,
Yeah.
it's my only place I can talk like a guy and blah blah blah. Online chat rooms are the same way, especially with COD or, you know, those military shooters, stuff like that. So, and I was talking about just the other day, like I was telling Sacris, I hope it's Sacris, but I was playing Remnant from the Ashes. I had to play online with a couple guys for this roguelike mode that I hated, but I had to play with other people. We had to talk because we had to communicate. because it's really
Mhm.
hard to do this stuff without communication, which is
Right.
my bane. Because I, first of all, already hate playing online. And then
Oh,
I
really?
hate playing online. I always have. That's why I have a PlayStation. We don't. It
Yeah.
caters for people, more to people that don't like playing online. There's more single player stuff over there. I don't talk to people.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't play
true,
around
yeah.
people. I don't want any of that. And so, it was bad enough I had to play online as it was, and then I had to actually hit in the chat room with guys. And the reason why is because they talk how I think they're going to talk. Like they talk like you said, like the bar talk. Like they do, and I hate it because I just don't
Yeah.
relate to it that well. Like it's not like I don't have a poop mouth, but like I don't blatantly just say shit for no reason. Like I said this on the previous podcast. He killed some dude, and my partner was like, "Yeah, take that, cocksucker." And I was like, "Was that necessary? Did you have to say that?" Like
Yeah.
it's like it wasn't like we were like pinned down against the wall or something. Like he was just some dude in your way, and I was like, it's just like
Yeah,
these guys, they just have. I don't know what happens. I don't know if online gaming makes their testosterone go through the roof, but like
probably.
it just goes
You get
nuts.
those
Yeah,
weapons
I don't
and
know what it is. Like they
fighting.
just lose their shit, and then like and inevitably some women jokes came up. They weren't like oh like they weren't like stupid, like ridiculously stupid, but there's like some jokes about women. And I was like, but I was like, this is why I remember I don't play online with the other guys. This is exactly why. Because like, well, I didn't need any of that. Like I just need you to
Yeah.
talk about the mission and then talk about what I need to do and
Yeah, get to the
tell me
game
how to
plan.
beat the boss and then move on with my fucking life. So it's just but like when Cypress was saying that like when a girl hits the chat in like Call of Duty especially back in the day
Mhm.
when lady woman playing games was still just a thought rather than a reality.
Yeah.
If that happened, honestly, when his experiences, he said that like everyone just gets awkward. All the guys get awkward, and they're like, and like they're
Yeah.
choosing their words carefully and everything because like it's too much of a risk to think like would this woman just laugh at the joke or would she be offended by the joke? Like it is too much of a risk to play that, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
it's
you have
true.
that too. But it's rough because like some women, I mean, it's no way for guys to know, but like some women honestly wouldn't care. Like some women probably laugh at some of the jokes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
they don't
And that's
know.
why I liked when I played like especially those stages, like when I was playing the PS3, I played a lot of Call of Duty online, and I would play with my like male friends, or even like my brother would be online as well with me. So then I found that I didn't get like those awkward reactions from everybody else
Hmm.
on our team because I already had somebody I already knew that was playing with me who was acting completely normal and
Yeah,
not making things
and
weird.
that helps.
It was
That
just the
definitely
few
helps.
occasions that I would go online and play by myself, and then I'd be like,
Hmm.
texting my friends, like, you guys want to come
Yeah,
online here?
everything's so awkward, honestly. Like
Yeah. Or
everything's so
I remember
weird.
I'd like get scared to say anything in
Yeah, I can
response too,
imagine.
right? Or,
I can imagine the
yeah,
fear too. Like
yeah,
as soon as that voice comes out, little high pitch, everyone's like, "Yo, what's going on
yeah.
here? Is there a girl in the chat?
Yeah, like going for alpha boys.
Who let
Just
her in?"
pretend I'm a boy.
Yeah, we're going for beta, guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Come on, let's do
Pick up
this.
beta.
You gotta get one of those voice modifiers.
Yeah. Well, those are obvious though, I find.
Ah,
I know people like use them on
but yeah,
Twitch and stuff, but I'm
you
like,
gotta do all these hoops just to make it to where you're not revealing yourself, and it's a struggle. It's
yeah,
like all these.
yeah. I found that especially like back
It's oh
then for
gosh, especially
sure.
back then. You girls don't. You guys have it easy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say easy, but you have it easier than we did. Like our age or older did playing those games.
yeah,
Like Nick was saying, like she knows the dark times, the dark
yeah.
ages.
I'm curious because I haven't played online like that, like in like public servers, like for Call of Duty for a very very long time. So I'm curious what that would be like nowadays.
Well, you have fun with
Like
that.
if
You
it
can
would
report
still,
back to us because I
yeah.
don't think it's gonna go all that great.
I don't think it'll go well, but like I am curious. It'll be, although me as a person has changed a lot since I was in high school as well, so maybe my reactions to it won't be as bad
Yeah,
either.
it's gonna be a long way to go before we get
Yeah,
the more ubiquity of women in games because like
yeah,
I know like games like Call of Duty and stuff like that are like trying to be more inclusive, having women avatars that you can play as, and you're seeing all the time. And yeah, you would see if you go to YouTube or Twitch, you might think there's a whole bunch of girl gamers or just people, women who play games, and there's more than there was
hmm
before, but there's still not as much as people like to think there is. So
Yeah. And like you were saying before, like even those girls who are playing games are usually playing particular
yeah,
games too,
they might be
right?
playing
Yeah.
particular games, right? They might be playing the games you're
Yeah.
playing, or like the big boy
Yeah.
games, right? So like if you want to play the big
Yeah.
boy, like the CODs or whatever have you, you might still, even today, you're gonna fall under some crap. Even Fortnite, even, I mean, Fortnite
Yeah.
has a whole bunch of female avatars you can play as and everything. That seems like a really inclusive game for all types of people. I bet you
Yeah.
if you're, a little woman playing on there, you're probably gonna get some shit. I mean, it's
Probably.
inevitable. It's just going to happen. And
Yeah,
so,
but I feel like now Fortnite's more so dominated by a younger player base than it
which is
was
probably
originally.
worse because then you're gonna have
Yeah,
all the little
exactly.
boys trying
That's
to
why I feel like that's more
who don't
scary.
care, who really
I'm
don't.
like, what are you, 12?
You want to
You don't know what this
talk
is.
about people trying to get a reaction out of you? That is all
Yeah.
they do. That is all they do. It
Yeah.
is the worst. Like, that's why I don't play online. But when I
Yeah.
did, like on the PS3, I had to play online a lot for certain games for trophies and stuff. And I'm not like I never had a chat. I never had like a microphone or anything. Never even bothered. But as soon as I heard a beep from anybody in the lobby, everyone's muted. Everybody's
Yeah.
muted because
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. Like as a guy, I can't stand it. Just get the constant bullshit, the constant shit talking. I can't handle it because it's so unwarranted. Like I would sometimes, not often, but like there were some games I was particularly okay at, and I like would win races, and I would get this hate messages coming at me, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
bro, I can't right now. I just can't. I don't have. I just delete the message. I don't even open it. I just delete it.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's the thing. Don't engage, don't
there's no
reply.
point. There's no point.
Just
There's
leave
no
it,
point.
because that's what they want. They
They'll be
want
like,
you to
fuck you,
reply, and
bitch.
they'll be like,
Like
ha
they'll be
ha
like, fuck you,
ha.
bitch, you hacker or whatever. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
even. I can't. I just can't even do this. So like,
Hacking
so I can
them.
only imagine as a woman, like you get the hate stuff, and then you also get just all the other unwarranted things on top of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I
Yeah.
said, to kind of wrap up things here. Like I said, it's going to take maybe some time before we get better. Am I thinking? I mean, it took
If
us what? We're at the ninth generation of games, 2021. Girls playing games probably wasn't even a thing till like 2005, 6. So we probably
yeah.
have to wait another 10, 20 years before we get a lot better representation of games, of girls just playing games just like guys do. But for
Exactly.
you, Melikka, and for all you ladies out there right now who are paving the way for the future ladies, for the ladies of the future to keep playing games, just keep fighting that struggle, man. It's gonna be, it's tough. It sucks, but honestly, I think you guys weathering the storm will make it better for, 10, 20 years from now,
Yeah.
for like your
Yeah.
daughters, if you have any, my daughters, if I have any, so if they get into games, because they will get into games, I will force it. They're gonna have a
Yeah.
much better
And
time.
the biggest thing too is like whatever these men say to you, it's nothing personal. They don't know you, right? They know nothing about
They
you. So
don't.
anything that they're saying, it's coming out of thin air.
It is.
So
It's coming out a bad place on their end.
yeah.
So let that. I mean, if you have to be mean about it to yourself, be mean. Think like, whatever. There's a bunch of fucking incels. Whatever works for you.
They probably are
I
though.
mean, a good chunk of them probably are, especially the ones trying to ban the
Yeah.
Twitch streamers. But like,
Yeah.
just keep fighting the fight. I know you're going to see other women who, they're just flaunting their assets to kind of get a gain, and it sucks. But one day will be better for everybody involved,
Yeah.
and we'll stop, and then things won't be so awkward in the chat room. So
Exactly. One day.
guys, thanks for joining us. I know this was a longer one, but you know what? I felt this topic deserved enough. It deserved more time than usual. And also, Malik and I were just talking the shit for quite a while, so we couldn't help it. We're reminiscing on the past. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Got a little
I mean, I know
distracted.
her and I talked offline a few times, and I already kind of was getting some, like, okay, I relate to her quite a lot, some things, but like just this, I'm like, my gosh, we lived parallel lives. I swear.
Apparently
The only thing blocked
so.
is a border. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Like I live in Washington. It gets cold as crap over here too. So like it's literally the same thing as Canada.
Yeah.
Like, literally the same. So, but anyways,
Basically.
thank you again, Melikka, for jumping
Thank you
in.
for having
Oh, it
me.
was my pleasure. My pleasure. See, I know
This is fun.
I talked about simps and everything, but you know what? I am the simp master, all right? I am number one on that simp train for Melikka, all right? You fellas, you better wait in line. Just don't tell your husband though. But yeah, guys, this was a good one. I will put Melikka's channel description or channel link in the description below. And she also has an Instagram at Melikka Games. Is that what it is?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
also have a Twitter?
I don't use it.
She doesn't have a Twitter. She has Instagram, so I'll find the Instagram link as well, or I'll just have you send it to me. That makes it easier. Yeah. I'll put both of those in the link below. Follow her. She's awesome. She does more editing than I will ever do in my videos. She's funny. She does GTA stuff. She does all these other things. She almost pissed herself playing Phasmophobia a little while ago.
I basically did, but yeah.
Okay, she pissed herself playing Phasmophobia a little while ago. Like, her screams scared the crap out of me because I wasn't like watching, I was listening, and so yeah. I just heard a scream, and I almost screamed because I didn't see it coming. And so, but yeah, she's great. One of my favorite YouTubers I've come across, like top 5 easy. All right, so watch her. She's awesome. And don't forget to subscribe to CHG, Casual Horror Gamers. We do this podcast every Sunday. Sometimes I have a guest like today, sometimes I don't, but every Sunday we put this out, or we try to, and then during the week we have about 3 times a week, or maybe sometimes, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a week, we put like a Let's Play style video of whatever. So with that, guys, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.